Hi there, and welcome to the Projects Distilled YouTube channel where we talk about all things project management. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a very important soft skill. As I've talked about in other videos, growing your soft skills is one of the 5 essential areas that all project managers should focus on. In this video, we'll be talking about what I think is one of the most important soft skills a project manager can have. That is critical thinking. A project manager that brings critical thinking to the table is a powerful weapon in the creation of value. Critical thinking can help you get to the root of what it will take to break through all of the challenges that you'll face while executing on the project. So stay tuned to the rest of the video to learn how to become a better critical thinker. I hope you enjoy the video. The internet has a lot of information about being a strong critical thinker. Some of it's good, some of it's less so. The University of Louisville has done some research on the topic and concluded that this definition by Michael Shriven and Richard Paul has produced the best operating definition. And it is this: critical thinking is the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully conceptualizing, applying, analyzing, synthesizing, and/or evaluating information gathered from or generated by observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to belief and action. So that's a big definition, but what we're going to do in the rest of the video is break down what that really means and look at ways to apply it to us in project management. So to help us, let's give ourselves a problem where we need to apply critical thinking. Let's assume that you're managing a project and your executive stakeholder has asked you to execute your project using a process that has less overhead than the existing PMO processes require. The request is to move as fast as possible without adding more risk to the project. What you're going to need to do is examine the way that you're running the project while you're running the project. So putting the wheels on while you're driving. This will be a good example for our video. Number 1, disciplined process. This means that there's a structure to the way critical thinking takes place. Some people come by this naturally, others need to be trained and to practice it to make it a natural reflex. As project managers, we should be comfortable with structure and discipline. But if you feel you need to improve your critical thinking skills, be sure to be systematic about it. The topics in this video can help you. As it applies to our specific problem of speeding up the work, we would want to take a look at a systematic way to trim the existing processes. Creating an overall mantra and theme for the changes would be appropriate. What you do not want to do is just pick things here and there in an undisciplined way, suddenly remembering to do something with less overhead, and then doing it. That's not applying the level of discipline required for this. Number 2, actively and skillfully conceptualizing. This means that you conduct an actual mental exercise where you play out the issue at hand. Spending time to think through the issue is as important as developing a rational response. Conceptualizing before committing to an idea or concept is key to successful critical thinking. Now, as it applies to our problem, this would mean conceptualizing it in your own head and then thinking through possible ways to reduce the number of meetings or frequency of reporting would be an appropriate way to think through this. Number 3, evaluating information. Be a skeptic. Test what you've heard. Test what you've been thinking about as well. See if those ideas are real. Go out and ask questions. Find out what others think. Keep an open mind. Ask why 5 times. So this is a root cause analysis technique. This helps you to get to the very nub of the issue. As it applies to our problem, this means interacting with others that are involved or are knowledgeable about the issues. This means talking to leaders, talking to colleagues, talking to consultants. You can search the internet, look for white papers. You can use ChatGPT or any other AI tool. Don't believe everything you read or hear, but as you gather enough information, you will be able to triangulate where the truth lies. Number 4, applying, analyzing, and synthesizing information. After you have spent time applying disciplined thinking, spent time conceptualizing, and you've carefully evaluated the best information you can get your hands on, it is time to synthesize and apply that information to what you learned. One way to think about this is to step in and think about how you would explain your way of thinking and your conclusions to someone else. How would you explain your conclusions? What would they say about it? If they understand your thinking, you are on the right track. Now, as it applies to our problem, this is where you actually apply the governance changes that you have explored. This is taking everything that you've thought about and researched and bringing it to life. If you found a way to reduce the reporting burden, this is where you implement that change. It is not spontaneous or undisciplined change. There could be problems with that. This is a thoughtful change that has been analyzed and evaluated by those who are closest to the issue. I would add one final checkbox to this list. Does it pass the common sense test? Can you credibly answer the following questions? Can this way really work? How likely is it to be right? I strongly recommend that you work on your critical thinking skills so that you can become a stronger project manager. Those project managers that can show strong critical thinking will be in high demand. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned something from it. If you enjoyed watching it, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Before we end this, just one quick thing. I've taken my years of project experience and married them with my MBA from UC Berkeley. The result is my book, The MBA Distilled for Project and Program Professionals. If you already have your project certifications and you're looking for a way to improve your skills further, you need this book. It takes MBA concepts from core classes and applies them to project management. It's available on Amazon in softcover or Kindle, or visit my website, mbadistilled.com, for more information.